Greetings, my name is Monty Martin and welcome back to Isadora 101. In this series of video workshops, I'm going to be showing you the core features and functionality of Isadora 3. We've got a little bit of a special video today just for Windows users because I'm going to be showing you how to configure the display settings on your Windows PC to optimize it for output with Isadora. This is important when you're working with projectors and additional displays to actually show what you've created to an audience. Now, there are two other videos in this series. In one video, I cover how to do this on Mac OS, but the first 6.5 minutes also have some useful tips and tricks and best principles for working with projectors and external displays with Isadora. Even if you are on Windows, I suggest you watch about the first half of that video just for some of those best practices to get acquainted with that, and then when you're ready to actually set up your computer, head on back to this video and I'm going to show you what to do to get your computer ready to roll. Once you've finished this tutorial, you want to check out the next part in our series where I show both Windows and Mac users how to configure Isadora itself by using Stage Setup. If you're ready, let's jump right on in and connect our external display, whether that's a projector, a monitor, a television set, anything else, to our PC. The thing to bear in mind, of course, with PCs is that they vary even more than Macs do. You might be on a PC tower like myself that I've custom built with my own NVIDIA graphics card. You might be on a laptop computer, and no matter what kind of PC you're working with, it can really kind of feel like the Wild West in terms of the different hardware that PCs can have. But fortunately, the operating system does unify everything. Whenever we are working on a PC, it is vitally important that you do make sure that Windows is up to date and that your graphics card settings are installed and that you've checked to make sure that you've got a graphics card that will support external displays to whatever degree you need to use for your project. The range of power and capability of graphics cards on PCs ranges quite widely. And just because your graphics card has 6 different outputs on it, my graphics card has 3 display port outputs, an HDMI output on it, and a USB-C output on it. But it won't necessarily address all those outputs at the same time. So it's very important that you check with both the manufacturer settings on your computer and your graphics card to verify that everything that you've got on a PC side of things is going to be functioning the way that you expect it to, because there can be a lot of nasty surprises there. Furthermore, a very important note for you power users out there that might have multiple graphics cards installed on your PC. This is not currently something that is fully supported in Isadora, and we recommend that if you are working with more than one dedicated graphics card on your PC with Isadora, that you actually remove those additional graphics cards for your show and work with just a single graphics card at this time. With those kind of advanced settings out of the way, let's look at what we actually need to do when we connect just one external display to our PC and want to get it going. Now, on Windows, some of the defaults are actually exactly what we need. So it's just important for us to go into the Windows settings and verify that everything is working the way that we need it to be working, and check just one or two quick other things. So I'm going to hit Start, and I'm going to click the gear here, which is going to bring up my Windows settings. All I need to do here now is click System, and you'll see that Windows has already detected my 2 displays. I'm working with a very large 27-inch monitor, which is display 1, and then I have my secondary 1920 by 1080 display, which is display 2. I'm going to be using display 1 as my control screen for Isadora, and I'm going to be outputting my video to display 2. What we can do is we can click Identify to make sure that we know which is display 1 and which is display 2. That'll cause a number to pop up on each screen so we can easily see which is which. And if Windows for some reason has not detected your additional displays, maybe I've got more than one plugged in, you can click the Detect button to try to force Isadora to recognize the other displays connected to your machine. When you do this, Windows will flicker just like it does when you connect an additional display, and it will try to find those additional monitors connected. If it still doesn't find those, that might mean that there's a connection problem physically somewhere in the chain. Now, when we click on one of our displays in the display options here, we can rearrange our displays accordingly, moving things around. In Windows, it is really important that we actually do not do this too much. We want to line all of our displays up in sequential order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as they are, and make sure that they are all connected along the top line with each other. If we do not do this, it can confuse Isadora just a little bit. It's really important that we leave these all in a line together for the optimized performance when we're working with Isadora. Next, as we scroll down here, we'll find this main option for multiple displays. This is the most important setting that we want to set when we are working with Isadora, and we just want to leave it on extend these displays. These other options for duplicate the displays and show only on one are not going to give us the flexibility that we need. We want to be able to see different things on our main display from our secondary displays, and in this case, I want to use display 1 as the control screen, which I'm going to run Isadora on, and display 2 is going to be my output display. By having it set to extended desktop mode, this will allow me to do this. If I mirror the displays, or say the option for duplicate the displays, then I'm going to see the same thing on every single screen, and I won't be able to separate my control from my output. Now, that is by and large most of what you need to do on Windows. Many Windows 10 PCs automatically default to this setting as opposed to duplicating the displays. This is actually kind of the opposite of how the things are on Mac OS. On the other hand, there is one small little option that we might want to check on before we close things up and get to work. And that is found back here on our main screen under personalization, where we have the taskbar itself. You might have your taskbar appearing on all your displays. And again, we only want to show the Windows taskbar on our main display. If this is the case, again, we're going to go from Home to Personalization to Taskbar, and under this multiple displays, turn off the option to show the taskbar on all the displays. That will simply hide the taskbar on your secondary displays connected and only show it on the primary display. With that done, as always, there can be a few advanced settings that we want to check for our PCs depending on the exact hardware that we're using with our PC. We may want to do things like make sure that our graphics card is up to date, and depending on your graphics card, there may be additional settings that you have to configure. I do recommend that as a Windows user, you check the Troikatronics community forums and the other Troikatronics support pages to make sure that your graphics card is properly configured and that there aren't any additional steps. I'll have some links in the video description below for a couple additional support articles that you may want to refer to depending on your Windows graphics card. But with that about wraps it up there for today. Be sure to check out our other tutorials here on YouTube. We've got lots of other great resources in our Isadora 101 series, as well as our Guru sessions with Mark Caniglio. And I will see you at the next workshop.